Get ready with me that kind of went a little...
Not that we've ever really been able to trust, like, large corporations.
It's hard to trust people in the space. Brand da-da-da-da-da.
Holy crap, right?
Hi, I'm Mallory Brooke, makeup artist and content creator here on YouTube, and today we're doing a little bit of a follow-up on my last Get Ready With Me that kind of went a little crazy for me. I don't know, I wasn't really expecting that many people to watch it, but I did. I was very unfiltered, not in like a nasty way, but a very unfiltered on my opinions on what's going on in the beauty industry and how it's changing, how it's not only just changing in the beauty space on social media platforms, but how the social media platforms and what's going on in them are actually changing how the actual big boys companies are changing how they advertise, who they work with, and all of this stuff, and how it's just a very slippery slope. Not just for you being able to watch people you trust, but now not being able to trust.
Not that we've ever really been able to trust, like, large corporations.
But it's just, there's such a shift that it's gonna be really hard to trust anyone in the beauty industry down the line. So I'm gonna be going over some other points that I made in that video with some updated information, and we're gonna get ready, actually. And I have got my headband on, and honestly, this is giving me a headache. I thought I could wear that instead of my hair clips.
And try to be cute.
Because again, my hair is still 3 inches long. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my makeup clips, my setting clips from Chunks. I will have these linked below if you're interested. Not affiliated, just buy their clips and love them. All right, for foundation today, I'm gonna be using the new Tarte Maracuja Juicy Glow Foundation, but it's also labeled as a skin tint, but it's also labeled as a foundation. I have a review on this that's already gone up, so if you'd like to see it, I will link that below. Today, I'm actually testing it out one more time to see if it's a keeper or not. But speaking of drama, also, by the way, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to go over every single product that I'm using because I'll be talking a lot during this video, but everything will be listed and linked below in order of use. Speaking of Tarte and their brand trips thing and all of that stuff, I know that happened quite some time ago, but it is a little controversial, and here's why. So, like, a lot of people don't understand how brand trips work. I feel like it's just a good way for brands to spend marketing spend and have people just kind of have a trip paid for, and then they get free advertisement pretty much all over their social media. So that's why people do brand trips. It's pretty understandable if that's how they want to spend their marketing budget, whatever. I've never been invited on a brand trip. I've never been on a brand trip. Would I go on a brand trip? Maybe. They kind of scare me because of other influencers and content creators. And I honestly, like, I've met a lot of them and have been friends with a lot of them. And it's just a different world.
It's hard to trust people in the space.
Hard to know if you have a real friendship or not, or if you're being used and all of that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like, it's murky waters to tread in, honestly. So if I got invited on a brand trip, honestly, I'd probably go just to understand what the heck it's all about.
What the hell? Oh my God, no.
But then also, I don't know, I might not, because I'd be scared of the other people. To be honest. But anyway, so that's on Tarte. I honestly don't remember all of the controversy other than people like really realizing how much brands spend on marketing. Now let me tell you something, they're also spending their marketing money on TikTok for people to do undisclosed ads. And that's another thing. It's just like I described in the last video, TikTok is really the wild, wild west. It seems like people can get away with a lot more over there just because it's shorter content. So it's kind of hard for someone to squeeze in all of the verbiage they need to, but when they start hiding text that's supposed to make up for that in overlays and things, then we got really big issues because, you know, you just never know if they're being paid or not. And here's the thing, I have in sponsorships, and I always disclose verbally in the info box and make sure you understand like what the sponsorship's about, why I like
Brand da-da-da-da-da.
right? And where was I going with that? Goodness gracious. Need more energy. By the way, loving this. This is the new Alani Nu Retro Rainbow energy drink. Tastes like Skittles. One of their first flavors that I tried in their pre-workouts years ago was the rainbow flavor. What was it called? I don't know. Anyway, that's this flavor and it is delicious, non-spawn. So where was I going with that? Yes. Sponsorships, disclosing. I don't know. Anyway, I've always disclosed when I'm sponsored. Oh. And they just had to go for it. They just had to go for it as soon as I got my thought back. Helen!
What the hell? Oh my God,
When I get sponsored, it's a product that I have tried out, loved, and I could tell you, we have time to say, you know, it's sponsored, here's why, da da da. But on TikTok, it's like, heavens. Okay, let's dive more into this undisclosed sponsorships. So now TikTok, to fight people kind of hiding their sponsorships and things like that, TikTok is now, if you even add a link, I'm not even sure how people add links on TikTok, to be honest, but apparently you can add any link. So say if I bought this Life water at the gas station, which I did, right? And I added a link so you guys could easily find it. TikTok is now automatically putting up a banner that says paid partnership. So now it's hurting people that are really genuinely just trying to share what they love with their audience and all that good stuff and say, hey, you can find it here, and they add a link. Again, I'm not sure how people add links on TikTok, but they're adding links, and then now they're getting, paid partnership across their TikToks. And here's the thing, not everybody's like large enough for people to pay for sponsorships, but maybe somebody's genuinely like, that's how they operate their account. They add links so you can find the products that they love and use. And then next thing you know, it looks like every post that you're doing is sponsored. So that's TikTok's answer to people like Michaela who don't disclose sponsorships, or on the other hand, say she's sponsored by a brand to actually get picked up by a brand and she's not sponsored. Now that is a whole other ballgame. People will say, oh, this video was sponsored by so-and-so, when it's not. Maybe they got something sent in PR and they say sponsored, so other brands, other people, or that brand will pay them more attention and eventually start paying them for their content and start using their content across their accounts. So that's a whole other level of deception that we actually have to deal with, and maybe you guys don't know that, but on the other end, that's another way to manipulate the industry and other brands and people, by actually not being paid a dime, but saying that you are, to make you seem more legit or more important, or like you're reaching a broader audience because a larger company is working with you. So holy crap, right?
Holy crap, right?
Like, how are we gonna wade these waters? I have no idea. I'm not on TikTok, and I'm glad I didn't build my brand on an app that might be banned. Ooh, yeah, I don't know how people from TikTok could end up making longer form content. I mean, it seems like they're good at what they do, but then when you go on this side of it, a lot more work involved. What? All right, quickly, the blush that I'm loving and I have featured in a few recent videos is the Gen C Clean Sheen Cheek and Lip Color. I've been raving about dragon fruit, but this is apricot. This is the first one I leaned towards when I got these in the mail in PR. Like I said in several videos recently, I don't get PR anymore, and I was very excited to try this brand when I received their products in PR, and now I'm like obsessed with these Clean Sheen blushes for lips and cheeks. I've got 2 shades, dragon fruit and apricot, and oh girl, I can't put them down. I love how pigmented they are, and they give you kind of like a nice glow to the face. Apricot, ooh, I love it. It's literally like when I think of an apricot shade, it's actually apricot. It's not like orange or too much pink, But I did ask on my community post if you guys had any questions about the last Get Ready With Me, or if you wanted me to discuss anything else and all that good stuff. And Strange Quack actually responded, this is what I'm touching on now, said, undisclosed sponsorships are trending. Can you spill the tea if there are any companies who tried to do that with you? And the similarities of some when reviewing a product, aka using the checklist provided by the brand. How do you organize your reviews? Okay, so it's strange because we all heard that L'Oreal asked Kayla to put on a lash to make it more of a, shocking transition, a shocking before and after. And I know that brands do ask for like
shocking faces and shocking transitions
and things like that. But I have never had a brand ask me to keep my sponsorship undisclosed. Not ever once. And I know some people have, but no one that I've ever worked with. And I've worked with a lot of brands, but no one, and I've actually worked with L'Oreal before in the past, like paid partnership, never. They were very thorough about how I was to disclose that it was sponsored. You know what I mean? Hashtag sponsored, say it's sponsored. L'Oreal partner. That's the checklist I pay attention to. Now brands, I'm not quite sure if this is, kind of where Strange Quack was going, but brands do provide a checklist for you to, you know, go over, make sure you touch on certain points and aspects of the product. But a lot of times I will ask, hey, like this is a lot and I don't want to sound like an ad. Obviously it's an ad and I'm getting paid to review your product after trying it, but that doesn't go well with anyone. I start getting nervous, like I have to read a script and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. So then I work with brands on my verbiage, how this will come across to my audience and how I feel comfortable or uncomfortable with certain checklists and things like that. So, you know, if you really want a brand, if you're an influencer or a content creator, if you want a brand to understand the way you work, if they haven't really watched your content, which that's another thing that's kind of strange when you get brands that like don't really watch your content or anything like that, but they want to work with you, and then you get like this crazy content brief and you're like, okay, so you've definitely never watched my videos because this is not how I sound at all and this does not align with me as a person. So honestly, that's the closest thing I would say to a brand trying to get you to not disclose a sponsorship that I have been close to. It's just like a brand, like we're in the middle of the back and forth, you know, admin work, which, oh my God, can go on for weeks. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, and by the way, here's your script. And you're like, no.
No, God, please, no, 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 no!
No, you know? So that's one thing that I always have to kind of work on with brands, unless it's like, you know, some of the brands that have allowed me to be the most organic are in beauty, in cosmetics. Let's see, who else? I'm drawing a blank, but I have quite a few brands that are very, very nice and easy to work with. Dossier is really nice and easy to work with, and they don't really get crazy. They want me to be myself. And most brands ultimately do. They just have teams that write out the marketing for them. They write out the content briefs for them, and then the middleman gets handed the content brief, and then the middleman just looks at it and goes, yeah, that looks normal, and then hands it to the influencer content creator, and you're like, so this is not gonna work. So then it has to get passed and this and that, and most of the time it's people who have never even worked in the space that are writing these content briefs. You know, just imagine like a bunch of old white men trying to write out advertising for commercials. Sometimes that's what you're working with, and it's like, I don't think you know what's going on. So you have to kind of do a lot of back and forth with sponsorships. So that's kind of the back end on that. As far as like checklists and people like wanting you to not disclose, I've never ever
had a brand ask me to
not disclose that it's sponsored and then pay me. Maybe it's different on TikTok, you know, that could be a whole other thing. Like, hey, youngins,
You don't have to say it's sponsored.
we know you're gonna love this product anyway, and so will your audience. And then it'll get more views because the algorithm will pick it up if it doesn't say sponsored. I could see that going on, but it's never happened to me. I will say this, when I was looking more into the updates on Michaela and all of that stuff, I was like, oh no, I'm a little disappointed because I saw that Makeup Forever sponsored her. That was a little personal disappointment I had because I love Makeup Forever. I love their products. I love the products they put out. It is very focused on like makeup artistry, and as a makeup artist, their products are so universal and easy to work with on so many skin tones, skin types, and things like that. They offer really like artistry products, but at the same time, they are marketed really well towards just your average like person who loves makeup and applying makeup. So I was really disappointed to see that they actually paid. What? Steven's moving things around over there. That they actually paid Michaela to do a TikTok. Now, I'm assuming they did. Maybe it's one of those things, but has a large enough audience now to probably get sponsored by Makeup Forever, but I was really disappointed. And that's one of the things that I touched on in the beginning of this video is like, we're not just talking about the beauty space and influencers and content creators changing and that sphere changing. We're now looking at the change of the actual industry and brands and how they operate and who they pay and who they place ads with just because of views. Michaela gets a lot of views because she's controversial. She leans into a lot of like characteristics that she has and all of that stuff. And now it's like, oh, now Makeup Forever is paying her even after Mascara Gate, because it seems like right now brands are viewing views as more valuable than conversion or trustworthiness. And I would not have thought that Makeup Forever would have leaned into that kind of controversy, honestly. I was really disappointed personally, just because I've loved the brand for so long and I've gone to Makeup Forever events and just really have respected the people that I've met from the brand. So that was a bit of a bummer. But I just want to touch on this really just slightly. The majority of the comments were so positive and like the majority of you really got what I was trying to say, because I have never in my life and career made a video like that, drama focused or anything like that. I just feel like, you know, it's about time for me to start speaking up, because I am seeing the changes on both ends, behind the scenes and what's in front of us, and it's really not good. I did not do that video for views. Again, I didn't really think many people would watch it just because it was kind of old news. It's just stuff that I had been sitting with emotionally, like the Kaylin stuff. I'm still so upset for Kaylin that Jacqueline stole her brand and really didn't have to pay for it at all, and still has people supporting her and going, well, it wasn't trademarked, so what are you gonna do? It's like, how about you just do the right thing? You're destroying another woman's career. You know, you're so like,
Oh, yeah, girls, love yourselves, support each other, and then you're doing something like that to a
fellow female, you know, entrepreneur, business owner. Like, what are you doing? Like, she has children, you know, not thoughtful at all. But that's just, again, I didn't do it for views. I only had a couple comments mentioning that, but I just want to say none of these, and I am going to start opening up about behind the scenes of this industry and my career itself, because I feel like the one thing missing in the space, aside from like all of like the tea spill sesh and like drama here and drama there type videos, is like people who have been in the industry in the middle of it, not just drama channels, like having sources, like someone who's actually worked in this industry now for, you know, 10 plus years. I have a lot to say. I have collected thoughts and opinions that really I feel like you guys should know about. Not that my opinions are the end all be all, but I think that's missing in this space. Now, I know some other content creators and influencers that are on this side of it have made videos about drama and things like that, but I feel like it's very few and far between. And I feel like if more trusted content creators and influencers start speaking up and kind of taking over that ground, you know, reclaiming the ground, reclaiming the land, then I think that we could see a really nice positive change in the space. Ooh, yes. I took notes yesterday. I was really not feeling well. So I took the day to kind of write out some videos and write out some notes, but I just read this last note and I was like, oh God. But first, today, because so many of you requested me to use this eyeshadow palette and commented on the favorites video recently, I'm gonna be using the Huda Beauty Matte Obsessions palette. This is so good. The cool toned one is really good as well. I just lean more towards this one because I just love these types of shades.
What the hell? Oh my God, no.
So first I'm gonna take this middle shade here and I'm gonna apply that all over my lid. It is a little bit darker than it appears. I don't know if you guys see how peachy that went on. I'm actually gonna blend these two together. But yeah, it's a lot deeper than you realize, but it's a nice base for like, it's a little darker than my skin tone. So if you have a fair-ish skin tone like I do, this is a great base shade to really keep the warmth there. Man, I'm struggling to see today. So I've had some questions about what I think about Glamzilla. Oh my God, and I just kind of like have avoided them. And there was one comment on Instagram, this Instagram account that deals with like drama and like some other product release stuff. Go ahead and use this shade right here. They featured my video. They reposted it on Instagram and had a lot of positive feedback on it. But the one time I answered a question about Glamzilla was there on that post because I was on Glam Masters with Stephanie, okay? And the vibes I got from her were instantly negative, just to be honest with you. I mean, I met a lot of people through the Glam Masters pipeline because originally it was supposed to be a reality show. It was me and I think 11 other influencers, content creators. We were gonna compete in a content creating type reality show. We were gonna live in a house and then our videos were gonna be judged by judges including Kim, and then Kim got robbed, and so it went to like something like Landmaster. So I met a lot of people along the way is all I'm trying to say. Most people were very, very kind. We were all in it together. It felt kind of like a family. It's just a really nice experience to be around like-minded, artistic people. But Stephanie was definitely, or Glamzilla, I don't know. I overheard her making fun of a lot of people, and I also just didn't vibe well with her, so I never stayed in contact with her. That's just because I don't make fun of people. What are you doing? Like, we're grown women here. You know, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? So when I saw that she was actually on TikTok, I guess that's where she is like keeping her main business now, is on TikTok. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I don't keep up with her because of said reasons. I don't, and that was years ago, she could have changed. But the way that I'm seeing it is probably not, because she is hiding sponsorships and she's doing it very strategically. So I'm sure that, that's just a kind of a character thing, if I'm gonna be honest. So my opinion on Glamzilla is not great. I hope she changes for her sake, because that's not a good way to maintain your business at all. And I've also seen, I don't know, she's like, her face is in Sephora now with some brand. I'm trying to remember, what brand was it that she worked with? And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God, no way.
There's Stephanie. So anyway, that's my opinion on that part. I just feel like if you are hiding sponsorships, then like you must hide a lot more. You know what I mean? Like, then that means, do you ever like any of the products, or are you just getting paid saying that you like them and you never really have to deal with them again? And that's one thing that Michaela's been getting in trouble for, is like, apparently she is saying, she doesn't like products after she said she's liked them and that she's been sponsored by the brand. And my suspicion is that she's actually not sponsored by these brands she has said she's sponsored by. And so then later she's like, I don't like the product because maybe the brand didn't give her the attention she was looking for. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So I'm kind of wondering if that's what's going on, or honestly just she's like, oh, I don't like this anymore. I mean, my opinion changes on products all the time. I keep you guys updated as much as I can, but if something starts not jiving with my skin or something that's going on that I'm like, oh yeah, man, I used to love this. Foundations that I loved 2 years ago or even a year ago. No, I still kind of love everything that I still talk about. I don't know. Opinions can change unless there is something going on with people really just saying they're sponsored when they're not, which is, again, like I said, a whole other ball game. Huh? All right, I'm going to apply Huda Beauty Creamy Kohl eyeliner in Very Brown in my waterline. This is a really great eyeliner. Huda Beauty, they really kind of rock it when it comes to their releases, especially the mini eyeshadow palettes. I love them. But this eyeliner really does last like all day. I'm just gonna take this deep brown shade here and smudge that out. My classic smudged smoke. I'm gonna smudge this upwards and outwards. Oh my God. Isn't that brown just so pretty? Ooh, yeah, and it stays in your waterline. Where'd you go? And the pencil part is very tiny, so you can really get in the nooks and crannies. Anyway, I really like it and it doesn't disturb my eyes. But I'm gonna take this, oopsie daisy. Get a hold of yourself, girl. Take this deep brown shade on, okay. Refer number 12. Goodness gracious. A Lonnie New energy drink is really getting me going, getting my hands going anyway. I'm just gonna kind of messily put this in my crease and above my crease to mimic a shadow, like I do have eyelids. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like if we had more trustworthy influencers and content creators speaking out about this stuff, I feel like we could take back the space for the positivity and all of that goodness that I feel like is still here in this community, but I also feel like we could have a lot more of it. And the thing is, the thing that has to change is honestly people supporting people who lie and people who, force feed you things and information that's just not true. So there's a lot of changing that has to be done on this side, on your side as a viewer, not you individually, like you know, supporting the wrong people, but just like I had a comment talking about how, you know, oh, this was just another video bashing Jaclyn Hill, and Jaclyn Hill's right, we shouldn't be bashing other women. And it's like, can she even say that though? Because you stole another woman's business. So I would rather see somebody talk shiz all day about another woman rather than her literally taking her business, taking food out of her mouth just because she can, just because it's convenient. So, you know, not saying that either one is right, but it's wild because that comment was just like, I follow Jaclyn Hill and I still love her, and I you know,
yada yada yada, and
I'm still gonna support her, and I, you know, this is very ugly of you. And it's like, you know, it kind of, even though it was just one comment, the majority were very positive. I just was like, you know what, this is probably why trustworthy people don't speak out as much as they could or should, just because of responses like that. Like, how do you defend yourself after speaking up when people just take it the wrong way of like, oh, you're not seeing that I'm saying we need to make a change. You're just seeing me as a drama-filled person. And it's like, hey, over the 10-year plus career I've had on YouTube, I have not ever done a video about drama, about behind the scenes, because I am nervous about backlash or like it getting picked up on drama channels and things and taken the wrong way. Because my intention is not to just say, hey, I know things and I know, you know, other people and I can talk shit. I really am speaking up now because I would like to see the change start happening. And I know that it can't until people who are trustworthy, until people who haven't spoken up start speaking up about these types of things. And not just because, you know, you have a large audience. I gotta be honest, I don't like the way this eye look is going. I need to like wing this out a little more. That's what I get for just talking while trying to do a full glam look. All right, yeah, let's apply a little more eyeliner to this side. Great, I'll lose an eye. Last time I talked shit, I lost, you know, 5 inches of my hair. We need to be careful. All right, let's smudge that out. Just like for instance, this is why I feel like the change is really important, because in May, I'm going to a creator summit for St. Jude. I've worked with St. Jude now for 5 years, and to me, that's one of the incredible perks of having a platform is raising awareness for, you know, organizations like St. Jude. So it's gonna be other content creators, right? Other influencers are gonna be there. And it's like, if we could take all of this energy of lying about sponsorships and taking other people's businesses and food out of each other's mouths and just all of the ugliness and put it towards something like St. Jude, that would be incredible. Imagine the impact, you know what I mean? But it's like, that's just not where it is right now. And it's like, it's hard to focus on things like that when you know that you might be around some of these people at something like St. Jude Creator Summit. I just think the energy could be placed in such a better place, and you know, maybe we wouldn't be so filled up and, you know, with just like the nastiness, when we could be filled up by something that would actually matter and make a difference outside of our own little,
You know, let me lie about this, and then like, let me go get your coin, girl, and
oh, that attitude really bothers me. It's just like, how can you say that? Get your coin, lie to me, I don't care, lying doesn't matter. Oh, but it does, and it will eventually in one aspect or the other of your life, and when it does, you'll go, oh yeah, I guess lying does matter. I'm just gonna brighten up the inner portion of the eye with this shade that we started with, just because I feel like I just got to talking and just kind of lost sight of what I was doing, to be honest. Oh yeah, look how vibrant that is with a pretty dense brush. This is a Sigma E55. Ooh, vibrant peach, we like. I'm having a hard time seeing today, girl. Need a bigger mirror than that. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and smoke my entire waterline out. I feel like it needs some weight at the bottom. I would love to know how you guys feel like these types of things affect you and your everyday life, other than just like, you know, being interested in the drama. I mean, of course, like that's just natural. Like we've had gossip magazines forever before the internet. You know, you could read about celebrities and what the heck they were up to. Like I get the natural interest, and also it's a, you know, gossip kind of stuff, gossip or just like reporting, whatever you want to call it. But truly it's gossip, unless it's a blind item, then you know there's a source. Anyway, you know, how do you feel like this affects you in your everyday life. You know, I would love to know, because I know it affects my everyday life, because my career is based in all of this, and it affects me behind the scenes and right in front of the scenes, because it's like I get people who are not trusting me because they've heard or read about the drama with other influencers that are untrustworthy. But yeah, I would love to know how you feel like it affects you day to day, because a lot of these types of things can be brought into the real world, you know? And because my world is working from home and then having to deal with the drama inside the industry, behind the scenes, and then in front of the scenes. And so, you know, that's my workspace. So a lot of this is very relevant to your workspace. How would you feel if someone was just like stealing your work and putting their name on it, and then it looks like you haven't done any work for the week? Like, that stuff affects you, you know? I'm gonna put some lashes on and I'll be right back. All right, actually, while we let my lash glue dry a little bit, and by the way, I have a full in-depth tutorial on how to get your lashes applied in the most natural way possible. They look like they're growing out of your eyelids, and all of the lash tips and techniques you could imagine. I will link that below. It was actually in my most recent makeup tutorial. So for bronzer, I'm going to be using the Jones Road The Bronzer in, I always forget which shade I have, Golden Tan. I'm gonna use the bronzer brush they sent with it. And oh, I just feel like this gives you such an actual sun-kissed bronze that it's like, it's hard to get a bronzer to stand out. And I've said this in a lot of videos when I use this, but this bronzer stands the F out. It really does. It gives you a sun-kissed look. And it's so soft and silky, almost like it's just like a finely milled setting powder, but you know, obviously way more pigmented. And I have a rash going on. That's another thing. I'm seeing if this foundation or skin tint, whatever is what is doing it. But honestly, I have a lot of health problems going on right now, and I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. So I think the rash might be from some autoimmune issues. But ooh, love it. And then for highlight, I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty Highlight in Flaunt. Okay, so I haven't really kept up with the, since we're girl chatting, I haven't kept up with the Selena Gomez, Hailey Bieber thing that well, but I do love Flaunt. I love it on a big stippling brush because it's a little too dark for my skin if I apply with like a regular, like dense kind of blush or powder brush. So I use the stippling brush, and I really like the way it looks on my skin, and it doesn't darken the area, but I don't really know. I don't know if it's like, I mean, I remember when Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber were together, okay? Like, honestly, I am a believer. I'm gonna be honest with you about that. I've always liked Justin Bieber. I thought he was such a cute kid when he was like performing on the Today Show and all this stuff, and kind of just like followed his journey or whatever. These lashes need a little bit more time. But I remember them being together. I remember it being kind of like back and forth, and like apparently they, you know, broke up, and then Justin Bieber like really wanted to get married, you know, and like it wasn't working out with Selena, and then apparently he like stumbled into the relationship with Hailey, and then they got married. I didn't really know the ins and outs of it, but I don't know, him and Hailey have seemed happy this whole time, and I've always really liked Hailey when she was Hailey Baldwin, when she started modeling, and I was like, oh my God, that's Stephen Baldwin's daughter. And so it just, you know, being a person that likes pop culture and movies and things, I was always like, oh, that's Stephen Baldwin's daughter, Alec Baldwin's niece, whatever. So then they got together, and I just have always liked Hailey's style. I like her hair because it's fine and thin, kind of like my hair struggles. So, oop, time to apply the lashes. I'll be right back.
Oh my God, no way.
All right, back at it. What I was saying was I've always liked, by the way, lashes are on. I messed this one up, of course, so it took a little extra long. But again, if you want to see how I apply lashes and all the techniques, it's tips and techniques. By the way, I've been getting some comments because I mentioned having migraines, and this is why my head is so messed up. I have glaucoma. I was given an eye drop that actually triggered some things in my brain to onset migraines. I've never had migraines in my life. So, I mean, I have off and on had really bad headaches that I think were migraines, but now actually having migraines, I'm like, no, these are migraines. So I have neurological inflammation, which triggered an onslaught of migraines. So my migraines actually are coming from the eye drops that I used previously. So it's just been kind of off and on different medications with migraines, but like the brain fog is still there. But anyway, I really appreciate all of the advice and comments that you guys have left, because I've never struggled with this. It's brand new territory. Anyway, so that's kind of where my brain is at now. But like I said, I've always liked Hailey Baldwin and I've always liked Justin Bieber and I've always liked Selena Gomez. I even really like her music. I love basic bitch pop, and I'm not saying that in like a negative way. I love Harry Styles. I love freaking Selena Gomez. I love just Lady Gaga, like just basic pop. I like it. Demi Lovato, not the last album. I don't know what. God bless that girl. God bless her. Extremely talented. Adele, like I just love basic pop. So I've never had like personal issues with either of them. I think we're seeing a display of like jealousy and then like a little bit of mean girl issues going out into the world. I think that probably it seems like Hailey might be surrounded by some people. They're giving her bad advice and kind of pumping up the wrong emotions publicly. And then I feel really bad for Selena because she has lupus. I have an autoimmune disease that kicks my ass every single day, and it's a struggle just to keep up with work. And so I understand that aspect of it. And then to be like on top of it publicly, like going through this back and forth, that's gotta be hard. I feel sorry for everyone involved. I feel bad for Justin because like he had to deal with the Bell's palsy thing, which is, you know, a stress thing. And then I totally forgot Hailey had a stroke. Like a year and a half ago. These people need to calm down and just give each other a nice little hug, say, girl, I was jealous of you because you dated my man, and then like, girl, I was jealous of you because like I feel like you stole my man, and then we could all just like be nice and then think about St. Jude. Let's do lips, but I don't know. I don't have any professional opinions on the situation. I really like and wish the best for everybody involved in that. So for lips, I'm gonna be using my all-time favorite lip liner, M Cosmetics Soft Blur Velvet Lip Liner. And I like to use Kitten as like an all over the lip color. A warmer version, a deeper shade, warmer of my own lip color. And I'm just gonna blur that with my finger. Isn't that such a pretty shade? I didn't fill in my entire lip area because I'm gonna apply a gloss over this and I want it kind of sheer. Anyway, I'd love to know your opinion on these things that I've touched on. There's nothing wrong with like chatting about things when the gossip gets very like out of control and toxic is when like lies are spread or like just like malintent, you know, I want to take this person down. Now listen, there are some people I have felt that way about, but I've kept my mouth shut about everything for years and years and years. And for a little more unfiltered things, not like taking people down, I do have vlogs where I'm a lot even more unfiltered on membership, and that just is kind of like a safe zone over there. And also it doesn't put my channel at risk of being demonetized. So I do go more in depth on like behind the scenes and the industry on membership, but again, I'm still gonna be doing these types of videos. I wanna be constructive. I don't ever want to just tear someone down for no reason. Do I feel like having a trusted voice speak the truth about situations that affect us all is important? Yes. So that's what I'm trying to do with, you know, the best intent possible. I'll tell you guys if I'm mad or pissed or saying something because I'm mad or pissed. So that's another, I'll be honest about that. But we can chat about things like, you know, Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber and what's going on there in the comments and be nice about it. It's just like girls chatting. I feel like you guys are all of my personal friends, and so maybe I take that too far sometimes and share way too much, but I do. So I don't see anything wrong about that. And now when people start hating people for no reason and like wanting them to die and stuff, we need to stop it there. So the lip gloss I'm gonna use is Hourglass Unreal Lip Gloss in the shade Strike, and I think these two are such a pretty.
Yeah, look at I got it all over my teeth.
All right, there we go. Wow. Ooh, I like this look. It turned out nice. The eyes worried me for a minute, and then we just kind of kept blending and talking, and I feel like they, you know, came full circle on the looking decent part. Now my hair, however, it is what it is. By the way, Alani Nu does send me things. They send me energy drinks, but the amount of money that I actually spend on their supplements and energy drinks outweighs the PR insanely. I love Alani Nu so much. But if you haven't tried this new flavor, if you see it at your grocery store, pick it up. I really like it. Steven doesn't like it. He says it tastes medicinal, but I also really like the Cosmic one, the purple can. I buy that all the time. It's really easy on my stomach. It kind of tastes like Dimetapp, but I like that. So to me, this tastes like Skittles with a little like cherry medicine in there. I don't know. I like it. Try it. Let me know what you think. Also, let me know your opinion in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me today with another gossip get ready with me. Again, these types of videos, I really want them to be constructive. And let me know, how do you guys feel about maybe some people that you trust speaking up about these issues a little more? I know a lot of you commented that you were so glad that I did, and I was like,
Really? Like, you guys wanted me to say this stuff?
okay, well, I've got a lot that I can't say probably ever because I know too much and too many people, but there's stuff that I can say to like try to make a difference and try to let you guys know to maybe like improve who you pay attention to. Again, it's natural to like want to know about the drama and find out about that stuff, but at some point, like, hate watching turns into support. So people that I have like been like, okay, this person is very, very not okay and is causing issues across the board, I gotta stop watching to find out what they're doing, and I completely just stop, because again, hate watching turns to support and then other people get missed, because that's how algorithms work. The more you watch, comment, interact, share, that's what you're gonna see. So just be mindful of that. There's other ways to keep up on the issues, like Twitter. I still really like Twitter. I mean, no one follows me on Twitter, but it's at I'm Mallory Brooke if you want to. I mostly tweet about old housewives memes, so it's really interesting, but you can follow me if you want. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much. Give this video a like, helps me a lot. Lets YouTube know that you enjoy my videos, and you'll see my videos pop up in your feed. For real, that's how that works. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe. I'd love to have you around here. I feel like we are a very really positive, want to make things better type of community on this channel, so it would be lovely if you joined. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like the look. I will have everything I used in the info box below, as well as some other videos that you may be interested in. All right, I'm gonna head out on to the next video.
Oh my God, no way.
All right.